Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Audiotree Live. Today is May 29th, 2025, and I'm your host, FINGY. Before we get into today's session, I do urge you to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can stay in the loop with all the amazing music we have going down in this studio. With that being said, we're on all streaming services, so Spotify, Apple Music, you name it, we are there. But today we have Courting in the studio, all the way from Liverpool. This exhilarating quartet seamlessly blends post-punk energy and art pop experimentation into undeniably captivating music. Take it away, guys.
Just two absolute beginners. And oh, we gotta find some place to hide. Yeah, a ballroom, a car. You're so miserable, you're so miserable. Get me away from here, I'm dying. Give me a piece and let me lie. Mirrors for kissing. Somewhere to hide. French exit. Irish get out. Showing Saturn to play. We bought a house in the plains. Started planning a long, long while ahead. You said to meet me there, but I got lost on the way. And I'll be scratching at the holes in the eye. Contacting, connecting trains that left her. Your mother said, I don't believe they're married at all. Married at all. Oh God. Get me away from here. I'm dying. Let me cry. Mirrors for kissing. Give me somewhere to hide. French exit. Irish goodbye.
Hey guys, this has always perplexed us here at Audiotree. Over 88% of you that watch our show are not subscribed to our channel. Kind of wild, right? So could you please do us a favor? If you like this show and you like discovering new music and you wish to support us, the free and simple way to do that is to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And our commitment to you, if you do that, our team will continue to book the best bands we can, listen to your feedback, and book who you want to hear on this show, continuing to capture and share astounding music to you all. Thank you. Sick. How y'all feeling?
Good. Thank you.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear this. I'm so glad. All right, so let's get into it. We got 3 albums out in 3 years.
3 albums.
Hell yeah.
It's pretty quick work, one would say. From writing to recording to touring, how long did each part of that process take in all these cycles?
Generally speaking, I think the first album kind of took a while to write, and then after that, we kind of decided to just keep striking while the iron was hot. I think there's kind of a problem that can come up when a band spends too long trying to think of where to go next, or try and decide what people will like, or decide what feels clever or right. And I think by just going straight back into the writing room as soon as the album's out and finished, you kind of get the benefit of like no foresight. You're just writing things that you want to write and kind of allowing it to form naturally, rather than having a kind of, I guess, a barrier formed by what you think an audience's conception of a different style of music's going to be. So
Yeah.
you just keep going. We
Yeah.
have not stopped.
Yeah. And is that how you keep it thematically fresh? Just not thinking, continuing to push?
Yeah, I think it's a kind of combination of like really thinking about what you're doing, and then also having a sense of reckless abandon towards it. Like, we always know exactly what we're going for. We know we really are perfectionists on what we make. It's just, I think when it comes to getting it out, we try and be really quick and keep things flowing naturally, rather than becoming overly in our own heads, maybe about what other people might think we're doing. I think that can kind of be a big struggle for a lot of bands, especially on like a sophomore record. But for us, we just kind of powered on and let people think what they want to think.
Yeah.
Our system is quite quick, as in going from writing to then straight to the studio.
Yeah.
I feel like whilst everything's fresh in our head, and whilst we know exactly how we want it to sound, we want to get it across straight away.
Because we wrote the first album, then we were in the process of writing the second before the first one was out.
Yeah.
I think we pretty much written most of the
It
second.
was like
or
two songs off, yeah.
Yeah, like the second album was almost done before the first one was out.
Yeah.
And then we kind of did the same thing again, where we'd written a lot of the third album before the second one to come out, and yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. So there's like some overlapping going on.
Yeah, absolutely. Which
And-
I think ties it together a little as well.
Yeah, definitely. That's a very natural crossover by nature. And it seems as though, since you're not trying to anticipate what other people are going to deem what's hot, what we want to hear next, did that also translate in not listening to other people's music?
See, I'd say quite the opposite. I feel like when we're writing, we are constantly kind of searching out new inspiration, new things to kind of take influence from. I think it's kind of a key part of what kind of made our first record, and maybe what we just do as a band in general. Like, me and Sean, our drummer, we kind of did a process before the first record where we attempted to listen to like 1,000 albums in a year. So we were listening to like 3 new records a day, like in genres we never particularly like had a deep investment in, solely really in the attempt of finding new things and finding things that could push the music that we were writing in different directions. Because I think you can fall kind of victim to, if you only listen to say 10 bands, or listen to 2 bands, whatever, your album is going to sound like a combination of those 2 bands, and that's natural. If you try and listen to like 1,000 albums, you'll hopefully end up at a place that's a little bit more mysterious, somewhere that's a little bit of a weirder destination point, because the influences are all so over the place.
I feel like not just sticking to one genre really does help.
For sure.
Yeah. Were there any standout projects that you listened to in that experiment that blew your mind a little?
Honestly, I think the one that kind of did it is maybe in like 2019 when we first listened to that first 100 Gex album. Just because I just kind of love, and I think we both really appreciate how as an album it kind of plays with the idea of like highbrow and lowbrow art, and how it turns things that people may often consider like a bit tacky into something that's quite clever and artistic. I think it's done with kind of like no hint of irony, but just an enjoyment for the kind of silliness that they're making. I think that informed a lot of kind of, maybe not the music we were making, but like choices we made as a band to purposely kind of have a layer of sincerity to what we're making and try and use influences that we find interesting without making it overly ironic.
Yeah, maybe an ode to this last title, no?
For sure. Yeah, it kind of comes under the same branch. Like, I think a lot of people might think it's a soul piss take, the name, but with the new record, Lust for Life, or How to Thread the Needle and Come Out the Other Side to Tell a Story, the idea was to take something that was considered like rock and roll canon and then play around with it, because I think that is in essence what we do as a band. I think I take a lot of pride in the idea of being a rock band, and I think our whole kind of first album ethos was, the record was called Guitar Music, because we felt as though guitar music had became like a dirty term for like bands that were uninspired or like uninteresting, and we thought, well, how can we be a guitar band and also be artistically interesting, do things that we find clever? And I guess this new album is a testament to that as well, because the first title obviously being borrowed from the Iggy Pop record, and then the second being kind of a much longer, more pretentious kind of play on that. It saves us from like looking like a pastiche, because we've kind of borrowed something and then I guess, over complexified it or made it weird, turned it on its head a little bit.
Yeah, and I like it, and it's
Thank you.
classy, and it got me listening, and I like what I've been listening to.
That's kind of, to be honest, like when we thought of the title as well, I think like a big part of it is that we just thought it might piss people off a little bit.
Yeah.
Like I just thought people having to say
Who the
this
fuck
out loud.
are these guys?
with that big,
Like, oh,
stupid
needle,
title.
get out the other side. Let me
exactly.
see about that. And then they get through the other side, and they're like,
Exactly.
wait a second. They did something.
They might like it.
Yeah, they might like it. I think you might like it too. Should we continue?
Yeah, we shall.
I'll be a pay pig, bank account, double glaze in the summer house, a wristwatch kickback, luxury furnishing. Did we all take it a bit too far? You said you like me in cricket-wise, but what would your dad think? Now tell me, would you find me attractive if I had smaller muscles? To me, it's just a questionnaire. I'm not a guest house, and there's trade involved. There's trade involved, there's trade involved. And I'm paying you to fuck me. And I've been playing ball since the first serve, I've been just playing tennis. Just playing tennis. Just playing tennis. Just playing tennis. I'm not some piggy bank. You can't just piggyback on me. There is trade involved. I was paying you to love me. I was paying you, and I'm in great shape. The grass, it's always greener in the country house. I got a celebratory blue wig. It's got stripes on its back. You're a night in the Holiday Inn, and I'm a breakfast bottle unusual. Toasting conveyor belt, this is not your name. You don't own it. We can't share it anymore. I've grown up so much since Tuesday, and I can count the hairs on my chest now. All the best to the slave that operated. I can go at it alone. This is a solo project, and the hits, well, the stronger for it, right? I've been playing ball for over a year. I've been playing ball for over a year. For just over a year, I've been playing tennis. Just 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 playing tennis. So sort of getaway is what I wanted. Take the lads on tour, we'll go to Pontins. Major contract, me and Mabel's. Content shitty, income stable, then terms and conditions, then for exposure, then acquisitions, non-disclosure, and exclusive access. No rights, you're right. Telling you where to go, or put you up for the night. Over and over and over and over again. Popshop, hey! It's like living in a gated community. Why? Can't tell them they're wrong. Making money by selling your bathwater. Why can't we tag along? Oh God, now it takes like saving money on your breakfast cereal. Starting the short run, but it's never the same. Man, I can't help feeling just a walls and we chain smoke. My patience is so old, I can legally drink. Somebody stop me. I thought I married a star. I feel the blood in my arms, cursing God. Somebody stop me. Yeah, cursing God. Somebody stop me. 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 I see you sometimes with the glass eye. You only see me with the lights down. See you around. I'll always see you around. See walk a cheetah in the nighttime. Big city call me, I got bright eyes. See you around. I'll always see you around. I got this city, it's around town, living life. It's the last day of my life, baby. I'll see you around. I'll always see you. I'll always see ya. I'll always see ya. Now I can't go to the show. It's all let's get it.
So sick. I was reading in an article recently when y'all were talking about your live shows as of recent that y'all have been playing shows now. How has your live performances changed over the years, and what makes this a show?
I think when we kind of were touring a few years ago, because we were approaching everything in such a DIY way, we kind of decided to make the shows a little bit similar. So like we were doing like a lot of audience requests. We were kind of just fucking around, kind of like
Just having fun.
we were being a little bit more silly with it. And I think after this album, we kind of decided we're 3 albums in, like regardless of the size of the venue, we should be playing for these people like we're playing to an arena. I think that's kind of what we started doing. So we've kind of built the set into like a bit more streamlined, a bit more of like a professional.
Everything leads into each other like
Yeah.
a journey, sort of.
Everything's very sequenced.
Yeah.
I think like that for me is quite important because I think the looseness of how we used to play was really fun. You know, we could go into any cover, we could kind of play any song we have, and now it's more of it's a direct thing. We know what we're doing. There's a way to do it, and we're gonna give people the same thing. And I've really enjoyed doing that. And it's kind of like, you know, we even went out the way to kind of have our own like lights on stage, our own kind of specific intro in line with the music. I know that sounds a little silly because I think a lot of bands now kind of come off the bat and they kind of build this level of like theatre and professionalism into their set. But at least for me personally, I feel like when you're still kind of in the early stages of making music and making art, you kind of maybe don't need to come at it with such a level of professionalism. You don't need to have an intro if you've got like 3 songs out. But I think when you've got 3 albums, you know, we should be acting like this is stadium rock. So
Yeah.
that's kind of what we started doing.
Yeah, and it seems like this project set up a good foundation for that. I'm aware of the twin duality aspect
Yeah.
of all of that. Do you think that was another thing that really drove that type of performance home?
Absolutely. I think like the benefit of also having like, you know, recorded string arrangement at the start, kind of a lot of things that kind of flit in and out of the album that we can play, a lot of like thematic ideas that like come and go. I think it all just kind of ties it together. And I think it's the first album that we've released and kind of toured where we just feel extremely confident about what we've put out. Like not to say that we don't feel the same way about our past records, but I think there's a new level of self-confidence that's come with this one where we've kind of said, you know, we don't need to shy away from playing this show exactly how we want to do it.
Yeah, yeah.
I think a true aesthetic has been set with this album as well. So with the whole black and white, and that's followed through everything we've done with this album, like promo, when we've been doing gigs as well. So
we've tried to
felt
stick to
good.
it. I guess it kind of gives us a uniform. It gives us an outfit. Like
Yeah.
it gives us like guidelines to play in. I think that makes like this a little bit more interesting. And kind of setting yourself like almost like serious rules when you're making stuff can like, and like reducing things you might do kind of adds to the experience, allows you to be more experimental, more interesting than just saying let's do whatever we want. Like I think having limits and things that give you a challenge can make it quite fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like every artist or band or whatever will all say like, "Oh, this album, a new album, that's the best one."
Yeah.
But I feel like it is.
But it is, yeah.
It is true.
It's the most like streamlined kind of version of everything we've been doing.
Yeah.
I think we're all really proud of it.
And what are you hoping that listeners take away from this project and this album specifically?
I'd like to hope that people can see the scope of what we kind of do as a band, because I think there's a lot of bands out there who can, you know, kind of play do a thing well. I'd like to kind of show that we can do a lot of things well. At least that's how I feel. Like we're very fussy about what we do. I think we like a lot of music, so I think it's just trying to make interesting stuff that kind of ticks a lot of boxes and do it properly, rather than kind of releasing like a 50-minute album that's a little bit half baked. This one is quite succinct. We kept it short and to the point. So every track hopefully leaves a bit of an impression.
Yeah. So you're trying to have people take a moment to recognize, oh, these guys really put some thought into this.
Yeah, for sure.
I like that. And do you remember when music first entered your lives and what maybe a specific moment was that tuned you up?
Honestly, I used to hate music when I was a kid. And I remember like the first song I really liked was Bangarang by Skrillex. I think that's
a classic. And that
telling.
music video,
Yeah, well,
scary.
classic, yeah, really scary. Nightmares. Yeah, I feel like that, like at the time, I think that kind of says a lot about like how we do music. Like when you like that when you're like 11, whatever, and then you approach it with like a level of irony when you're like 15. You'll go, maybe that's not for me. And then I think as you get a bit older, you realize like the actual production and the quality of that song is like genuinely incredible. I think that's like it's that kind of journey of realizing that maybe you are being a little bit of a snob when you try and play down things that are like viscerally enjoyable. Another one, to be fair, to keep it local as well, is I feel like I've had a really interesting like enjoyment of Fall Out Boy over the years, because I feel like there's a lot of like ironic appreciation for like kind of pop and punk music or whatever, or what they used to do. But I think they've always kind of been generally like ahead of the curve. Like they were doing some mad like production and writing things like incredibly early on in their career. I think that's really respectable for a band who's like a pop band to be constantly trying to push things and keep things interesting, keep things whatever, do new stuff, I guess.
Yeah.
When I was 8, I had a Hybrid Theory on CD, and I had a CD player that looked like a big football, and it would pop up on the top, and that's
when it started.
My memory is a Linkin Park playing on a big football.
Beauty. Well, should we give them one last run for their money?
I've got 2 left. 2 more songs?
2 more songs.
Carried away. This happens all the time. And I would wait for hours and hours and hours and hours, hours and hours, just to see the same side, the one that I described. And if I had to be prescribed, well, perhaps you could have lied. I'm pretending the same, it's true. house band is fading in. 2019, it's over, it's over, it's over, it's over again. Modesty barrier, black and white. We know the shape, we know the size. Every time I get to this part, I just
So sick. Cording, thank
Thank
you
you.
so much for being here.
Thank you so much.
That was awesome. Thank
you.
you to our crew for getting this done. We cannot capture this without you. And thank you for watching. By the time you are watching this, it's already on all streaming services. So Spotify, Apple Music, you name it, they are there. My name is FINGY. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you next time. Peace.
All right, so you guys want to do it for real now?